My name is Jaime Arguello, and I'm a professor at the School of Information and Library Science at UNC Chapel Hill. This video summarizes our work on structured annotation of audio data. Myself and Rob Capra are co-PIs on the project. The project also funded several PhD and master's students throughout the year. Intelligence analysis of audio conversations involves making operator comments, or OCs, to help downstream analysts. In a previous study, 30 analysts made hypothetical OCs using transcripts from an unclassified domain. A qualitative analysis of OCs resulted in a taxonomy of 25 OC types that analysts typically make, and specific input fields for each. We then developed a prototype for analysts to make structured OCs. In 2025, we extended the prototype tool to visualize places in a transcript where specific OC types are needed. Analysts can see OC predictions by type and confidence value. Analysts can accept or reject OC predictions. We then conducted a study with 18 participants to understand analysts' perceptions of OC predictions. The study proceeded in two phases. During phase 1, analysts were asked to make manual OCs using our structured annotation tool. Analysts were provided with a transcript from the LBJ White House tapes. During phase 2, analysts were shown OC predictions. Analysts could filter predictions by OC type and prediction confidence value. During phase 2, analysts were asked to make any additional OCs that they found relevant. Analysts could ignore, reject, or accept OC predictions. Participants completed questionnaires after phase 1 and phase 2. These questionnaires asked the same set of questions about workload, difficulty, satisfaction, confidence in making good OCs, and perceptions about the diversity of OCs made. At the end of the study, analysts completed an exit interview about their use of the predictions, as well as their perceptions of the OC taxonomy, the structured annotation tool, and the predictive features of the tool. Next, my colleague Rob Capra will introduce the systems that analysts interacted with during phase 1 and 2.
In phase 1, participants were given a transcript from the LBJ White House tapes and were asked to make operator comments using our prototype tool and the taxonomy of OC types we developed in prior work. Let's see how the system works. The interface is shown here, preloaded with a transcript. To make an OC, you can highlight the text you want to annotate and right-click to bring up a menu of OC types. In this example, I'll choose an OC type of clarification and a subtype, situational. Then I can type in my OC description and indicate my level of confidence in this OC. When I'm happy with it, I can click the Submit button to submit it. After you submit an OC, it will appear in line in the transcript and in the list of OC cards on the right side. In the transcript, you can see that the text Mansfield Stuff now has a set of parentheses around it to indicate that it has an OC. The system also shows the description I entered surrounded by bracket OC bracket, just like a normal OC would appear in a transcript. In addition, the OC is shown on the right hand of the display in the list of OC cards. Clicking the OC card will expand it so that you can see the full entry and edit it if you wish. In phase 1 of the study, participants used this system to make manual OCs in places in the transcript where they thought they were needed. In phase 2, participants used a version of the system that makes recommendations about places they might want to make OCs. Here, you can see the system interface for phase 2. All the existing OCs are still shown, both in line in the text and in the cards on the right side. In addition, the system predicts places where it might be helpful to make an OC to help a downstream analyst understand the conversation. Predictions are shown as underlined text. Each prediction shows the specific text and the type of OC that it thinks should be made. Entity identifications are shown with a red underline. Clarifications are shown in blue, and other types are shown in yellow. For example, here, the text Bob McNamara is underlined in red. The system is indicating that it might be helpful to create an entity identification OC for this text. you can double-click on the prediction to bring up the OC detail window. In this window, you can either enter a description for the proposed OC and click Submit, or you could select Delete to reject the proposed OC. In this case, let's say I agree that it would be helpful to add an OC here. I can fill in the description to note that Bob McNamara was the Secretary of Defense, and then click Submit to submit the OC. And now it appears as a normal OC would. The system includes a control panel to help you manage what predictions are shown. It has several useful features. First, there's a checkbox next to each type of OC category. If the box is checked, the system will show that type of OC prediction. The system has a level of confidence in each prediction. For some predictions it may be very confident, and for others it may be less. You can use the slider to the right of each prediction category to control what range of prediction confidence you'd like to be shown. In this way, I can filter out the predictions that the system is less confident about. In Phase 2 of the study, participants used this system to review the system's predictions and decide if they wanted to make additional OCs.
Next, we will present our results. Participants completed questionnaires after Phase 1 and 2. These questionnaires asked the same set of questions about participants' experiences during the phase. The following differences were statistically significant. In terms of workload, after Phase 2, participants reported lower mental demand, effort, frustration, and perceptions of failure. In terms of difficulty, after Phase 1, participants reported lower difficulty in deciding the category associated with each OC made. In terms of satisfaction, after Phase 2, participants reported greater satisfaction with the number of OCs made, the quality of OCs made, and the information included in each OC made. Finally, in terms of confidence, after Phase 2, participants reported greater confidence that they made OCs that would be useful to other analysts and that the OCs made were comprehensive. Next, my colleague Rob Capra will present preliminary results from an ongoing qualitative analysis of participants' responses during the exit interview.
After completing the study tasks, we conducted a brief exit interview with each participant. In this section, we will highlight some preliminary results from our analysis of these interviews. Specifically, we'll talk about participants' perceptions about the predictions, the taxonomy, and the interface. First, participants talked about their use of the predictions. Some participants described that they reviewed the predictions one OC type at a time. Others talked about how they did not like the subcategories and preferred the higher level categories in the OC taxonomy. Some talked about rejecting predictions that they didn't agree with, and others talked about that they focused mainly on the entity predictions. Next, participants talked about their perceptions of the OC taxonomy itself. Some liked that it was comprehensive and felt the top categories were useful. Others said that there were too many categories and that there was ambiguity among some of the categories. Some participants also noted that categorization work using the taxonomy was difficult or a distraction. Finally, we asked participants about their perceptions of the interface. Some liked that the manual OCs were visually clear and not distracting, and the color coding of the OC types was also something they mentioned liking. They thought it was easy to use and that the right-hand side of the panel displayed all the OC cards. That's the end of our presentation. We'd like to thank our LAS and government partners for helping to make this a successful and enjoyable project.